This is a piece, just a box I did, and basically it was worked with an assignment. So basically it's just using as many angles as possible, and basically it was just used next to the fireplace for long matches. So that's what it was for. And basically the top, smaller pieces, so multi lids and that. So basically this was just designed on, and using as many lace wood as I could as well. So that was it. And then basically I do many different things in my shop. I don't specialize in one thing. And now the last couple of years I've been working on this house. So it's doing everything between wood, construction, furniture, everything in the house right now. And I just finished all the rock work. So now I'm back into the wood shop finally. There's 4 different entrances into the shop, and each entrance is opened and has windows in it as well for light. But most of this is because there's a breeze going through the canyon. And so there's no air conditioning in the shop, but with all the windows open, I get a breeze all the time. These are the doors. Primarily there's 6 doors on this side, and this is where most of my auxiliary equipment is outside. So the first door here is primarily just the compressor room. In it is a thermostat, so when the room gets too hot, it automatically turns on. Air is pulled from under the building and goes up into the attic. The next room here is just the Oneida air system, and it's a 5 horsepower Baldor motor, and it's the same thing. Air is pulled from under the building, goes up, and it cools as well. The next room here is a vacuum pump system for vacuum clamping, as well as your three-phase converter, and this is a Laguna tool from Laguna Tools as well. This is a dust filter system. This is for the final collection system for the dust collection, and you notice there's a compressed air dryer. And that also pulls all the water out of the air lines. So it's always pulling water. So because I use a lot of air tools, that means I have no water in my lines. This was the original bait shop to the lake. And so it had a carcass. It was a great carcass. It was about 800 square feet. But it had good bones. And so then, of course, I took out all the windows because the windows were pretty shot because it was 1920s. So I put in laminate windows, plastic, because they were the most soundproof, and I could run dual pane 1/4 inch. I was torn between putting wood. I thought about wood, but over the next 20 years, I'm going to live here 30 years, I don't want to redo that wood, so I went with the plastic, and hopefully that'll hold up. The lighting is designed to its 5500 kelvins. It matches daylight, and each light can be switched on and off. So when I'm working in a zone, I can turn them off, and there's also 4 different zones. So that means that when I'm working in one area, I have light, and it also lights up other areas as well, so I'm not in a dark area. But when I just want to work at 3 in the morning, I can turn it down to just 1 light. This whole thing here is designed to where I can open this door as well as the other door, and I could put up to 20 or any infinite length of wood on this, my cut-off saw system. So that means that I can bring the wood in and I can cut it to any length. I also have here another system here to whereas I have another saw, I can bring it out, as well now I have 2 saws. I can run them both at the same time. My other wood can come underneath it, so I can run 2x12s underneath, as well as I have this saw up here on top, and now I can use it, I can run wood on top as well. The shop is designed that all the tables in this shop are 34 inches high. So that means that when I'm using this saw here, I can run it right across this machine and through my planer. So that means that I have access to use this machine. It's in a smaller area, but I'm now using it all the way through. The purpose of the shop is to be organized. For me, I have so many projects going at one time that I need to know where things are. There's 100 drawers in the shop, and so each one of the drawers is labeled, and the things in the drawer are such as if you want screws. Well, you open it up and you have every screw that's organized, and it goes right down the line from 6s, 8s, 10s. This drawer here represents my father, my grandfather, and my chisels. This is the one thing that we had in common were these. So I have 3 of each one of those sizes, so it's kind of fun. I try to keep my sandpaper organized, and so I've designed systems to where I can find it in my wet and dries. Same thing, more drawers. This is using half sheet and well, and then all the way down, going into using for my sandpaper, my hand sanding. I only sleep 5 hours a day, so that gives me a lot of time. I work 16 hours, 3 days a week, so 48 hours a week doing wood. Been doing woodworking since I was 10 years old, 50 years. But fine woodworking, finally getting the right tools and getting it to real fine, about 15 years. That was when finally, okay, I want to get the right tools, got away from the skill saw, finally got some good tools, and that brought it up another notch. And also going to Palomar College, that really helped. And it was always an interest. Luckily I had good mentors. I had a good neighbor that was a very good woodworker. He taught me a lot. He was an engineer, so he got me out of trouble. It was one of those, yeah, I needed one of those people in life. There's no question that Festool is the finest in dust collection. I have many different systems, and it's the best. I use this system here primarily for quick sanding. I like the boom arm. It works really well for me. I can sand in projects if it's on the floor or something. I still have access where I can move it around. It shifts really well. So when I'm using the sander all alone, I just open this gate. When I have another item, another sander or something like that, like the Festool, I can just reach in, plug into another switch, into the machine itself, open another gate, and I can run 2 different machines. All the systems are designed to have dust collection where you open a vent. So basically, I have micro switches on all the gates. You just open a gate and you have dust collection. This machine has almost a 98% efficiency, 98 to 99% efficiency. There's nothing comes out of this. That's how it is. From when I started it, it took 1 year, and that was building it and having it done. But now, pretty much, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with what I have, and it works for what I build. I was always taught you buy the best, and so the tools I bought and I buy, these are tools I'm going to have for a long, as far as I know, forever. And I've also gone through the upgrade like everybody does. I started with Makita table saw, and then I had a Delta table saw, and then finally ended up with a Laguna table saw. And so I've gone up the line to upgrade all my equipment.